Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Forza Horizon 5 with BrogAutohaus. Today we are going to talk about the Formula Drift car pack. So we're going to jump right into it here. It's, when you're in the buy and sell area of the festival, you go to car packs. As you can see, it has 8 cars, the Forza Horizon 5 Formula Drift car pack. That is a mouthful to say. So as you can see, these 8 cars are included with the pack. There are other Formula Drift cars that are available in the game that are not included in this pack. I'm not sure why they did that, but interesting nonetheless. So as you can see from the top here, we have Frederick Osbo's Toyota Supra from Papadakis Racing, as well as Ryan Turks' Toyota Corolla. That's from Papadakis as well. And then we have Kyle Mohan's Rotary RX-8, which is a neat car. It's the only Rotary in all of Formula Drift in America right now. And then we also have the Toyota Gumout 2JZ powered NASCAR, which is part of Forsberg Racing. I guess he has his own little category in the Formula Drift pack now. Not really sure where that came from, but then we have Josh Reynolds' BMW M2. That's managed by Matt Field and the Drift Cave guys. And then we have Joao Barrion's Formula Drift Corvette, which I thought was interesting. He did not compete this year. I think it was because of COVID and travel restriction stuff. I actually don't think he's competed in Formula Drift since 2019, but nonetheless, it's in here. It's the only Drift HQ sponsored vehicle, which I thought was neat. That was prior to the acquisition by Adam LZ. And then we have Rad Dan's Supra, which is a really cool car. And we have the Nissan Gold Leader Z 240. That's a Chris Forsberg built 240 that he did a few years back. And ironically, I actually have a photo of it. You can't see it because of the way that the glare is, but I have a photo of that car that was done by Larry Chen here hanging behind me. So besides that, I do own a couple other drift cars that you're able to purchase, and so I wanted to show you guys those, and then we'll jump in. I'm going to do a drift zone with each car and compare all their scores at the end to see which one's going to be the best car. Should you buy the whole pack, or should you just buy an individual car, or 2 or 3 cars that are going to perform for you? So most of them are about $300,000 if you don't have them. So you can see the first 4 there on the screen, top and bottom, are already in the pack. And then Matt Field's Corvette and Von Gitten's Mustang, which is not really Von Gitten's Mustang. I believe that's JTP's old Mustang, or another Mustang that competed in Formula Drift that doesn't anymore. And I just have the Von Gitten's old livery on it. And then I also have Fiorella, the Ferrari 599 GTB from Federico Cerrifos, the RX-8 as we mentioned, the Dodge Viper of Dean Carnage Carney. That thing's going to be fun to try out. Have never driven that in the game, so we'll see what that thing can put down. It's the only V10. Actually, I'm wrong. I think that the Ferrari's a V10. Maybe it's a V12 Ferrari. It might be V12. Correct me if I'm wrong. V10 or V12 Ferrari, and then a V10 Viper. And then we obviously Rad Dan's Supra as well. So the Ferrari was $500,000, and the Viper was $300,000. I think all the rest of them are $300,000. And there's a couple other cars you can still buy. They have Andy Haley's BMW E30. We can show you here which ones are available still that I have not purchased yet. And wow, that looks confusing. Okay, so they also have Forsberg's 370Z, which wasn't included in the car pack of Forsberg Racing. I thought that was pretty interesting. And then we got the Ute from Josh Robinson. I don't own that yet either. And I did not buy Matt Field's old S14 or Andy Haley's BMW. So that's all the drift cars in the game. Without further ado, let's jump right out to it. We'll go through all the drift zones, or a drift zone. We're going to go downhill, and then we're going to go uphill with each car, see what has the best score, and then we're going to kind of tally it up on a little chart and let you guys know what the best car is out of these. So these are all bone stock. I haven't tuned them all. I haven't done anything to any of them. So I wanted to start with that baseline, and then obviously here in the future we'll be doing some tuning videos on them as well. So alrighty guys, so we have a drift zone in front of us here, and we have Frederick Osbo's Supra. Got a little dirty on the way over here, a little dirt. And I apologize, the vinyls probably don't look quite as crisp. I did turn down a couple graphics for the sake of recording this video. So we're going to run through, see, we're going to go down and back through the drift zone, see what kind of scores we get, and then we're going to compare all the other drift cars. I haven't modified these things at all. They're all bone stock. I think 2 of them I put a race brake kit on so I could adjust the foot brake bias, but That's really about it. So we'll try it bone stock, and I'm going to let you guys know, is it worth it to buy these cars? And if it is, which ones are worth purchasing from the auto show which ones are worth purchasing from the auto show, and if you should avoid certain ones that, you know, might just not be good. But I'm sure they can all be pretty good once they're tuned, but we'll jump right into it here. We'll get some speed coming into it here. Manji a little bit here. Fourth gear just doesn't quite have it. Holy cow, that's a slow corner. Okay. So far, so good. This thing feels really nice. It's just, obviously there's a couple adjustments I would make, and this isn't necessarily the best track to try to link the entire thing. Switch down to second for this tight hairpin here. Get up to third. And I got to manji it a little bit, gain some speed. Alright, so 132,000 points. It failed because I didn't quite get through that exit zone, but 132K. We're going to run it back, and then we'll switch cars. Oh, Kyle Mohan says, no, not today, Frederick Osbo. Alright. Kind of got to stay in third with this car unless you're on like a really... Oh, shoot. Well, that's going to be user error to mess up that one. This is why we do 2 runs each way. So we're at 136K for the max points on this car that we got on the way down. This uphill is a little bit tougher. This is a tough little drift zone here. Still getting used to this. And again, like I said, they're all bone stock, so I haven't made any tuning adjustments like I normally would to a drift car before hitting some tracks like this, but I wanted to compare them all just straight from the right out of the box. So Frederick Oswald, we got 126K, not too shabby for our best score there, and we will switch cars up and do it again. All right, we got Ryan Turks Toyota Corolla hatchback, gum out. This is also a Papadakis Racing, but this has a 4-cylinder turbo in it. Ooh, nice. I already like the feel of it. I like the response. It's getting through 4th gear. This one has more than 4 gears. This is 5th gear now. I think this might be a 6-gear box. Try to extend that through. This is definitely way more planted than the Supra and way more consistent. Sorry, I'm riding limiter so bad. Accelerate. This thing doesn't seem to have nearly as much grip as the Supra does, which might be a good thing for this game drifting wise, actually. 148. So that's our best so far. Make a U-turn, go up, see if we can do any better, but I doubt it. That was pretty good. Oh my gosh, Andy Hately, jeez, dude. Why you mad, bro? Flick it in, get up that 5th gear. Ooh, this thing feels nice. Even going uphill. Ah, that guardrail really got me. Slowed me down. Not bad, not bad. Feels really nice. I got in the grass a bit there. Okay, so this one definitely doesn't have as much grip for sure. It does have 6th gear and it can freaking rock through it. And then we got 150K there, so. All right, Ryan Turk. I mean, I liked how it felt overall for sure. We'll switch over to another car. All right, we got Matt Field's Corvette here. Really cool looking car. I've always been a big fan of this thing. V8 sounds great. Really torquey. Flick it in. Wow, already to 5th gear and it's still ripping through the tires there. A little manji here. All the way to that outside zone. Long handbrake for this corner here. This does keep its momentum really well. I like it. Another really slow corner here. Cut it short there by accident. Get moving, buddy. This thing really flicks. Got a nice angle. I like it. 6th gear. Power through it. Bogging out a little bit. 156,000 points. So, again, we'll reverse it and head back up the hill. Oh, my Jaguar's done. All right. Here we go. Flick it in. Come back. A little handbrake. Didn't really get that corner very well. We'll get a little leaderboard up on the screen as well to kind of show you where everybody's ranking, and at the end of the video I'll give you kind of my final conclusion on what my favorite one is and what I've enjoyed driving the most. This thing is a ripper though once it gets rolling. Little guardrail hit there. We got 143 on the way back, so pretty impressive. Big fan for sure. All right, change it up again. All right, we have Federico, Cerrifos, Fiorella, 599 GTB Ferrari. This thing sounds nutty, and definitely the coolest car on the Formula Drift grid. Just hasn't performed. Okay, we'll restart that. That was not okay. Just hasn't performed the way that I think a lot of us were hoping that he would. You know, this year was definitely kind of a breakout year for him, I would say. He's done a lot better than he did in the past. What is up with this traffic jam? My goodness, they don't want the Ferrari to hit the slopes here. All right, let me get through here. Flick it in. Feels really planted. The power delivery is good. Grab 5th gear. It doesn't quite have the torque there on 5th. Feels really nice though. It's really planted. Feels like it's a little low on torque, especially after driving Matt Field's Corvette. But I think it's going to get a pretty good score overall. Yeah, it's just a little low on torque. I don't know what it is. 151K.
599 with 900 horsepower and traction control off.
All right, let's head back up the hill, see if it does any better that direction. Obviously, I'm assuming most of you guys know that once you start a drift zone, the opponent cars and the AI cars go into ghost mode, so they can't mess you up in the drift zone, which is really helpful. I remember at one point in one of the old Horizons, they did not do that, and it was really hard to drift around them when you're trying to get a nice clean line through, and they get in your way, and you have to go around them. Come on, buddy. Keep it in drift. Keep it in drift. Felt really nice. Overall, I really like it. It seems low on torque. I just don't know how we can get past that, but good overall. Really fun. I think with a little tuning, maybe if you can upgrade the engine a little bit, it would be a really, really good car. All right, let's switch it up again. All right, we've got the lone Rotary powered car from Formula Drift. Kyle Mohan, he's been running Rotaries for a long, long time, and he is now the only one in American Formula Drift that's running a Rotary engine. The last person other than him to do it, I believe, was Mike Woodette when he was competing in our series, but he hasn't done that in probably about 4 or 5 years now. So we'll get some acceleration into this and see how the torque feels on the old Rotary. Ooh, this thing is screaming. Ooh, I like it. Absolute rocket. Oh wow, it can even grab 50 here. This thing has more torque than Fiorella. Holy crap, this thing's hard to control. Ah. That's the issue, is when you go for like a handbrake or something, try to get back on throttle, if you don't have the clutch availability, this thing seems like it's going to struggle a little bit, because Rotaries aren't necessarily known for their torque. Maybe some of you Rotary guys out there will prove me wrong and say, no, they are. I don't know. In general, they're not known for torque. So I know Kyle Mohan has a really well-built car here. 150. So pretty, I mean, it's up there just with the rest of them. If I didn't lose drift on the way down, it would have been one of the higher scoring ones. It's just, you really got to pay attention to the gear, because if I get too high into it, you know, I'm up in the 10,000 RPM range when he's screaming. And can't get up the hill either. Stick in fourth gear. I bet for this we got to go down to like second. Come on. That's frustrating. And then as soon as it gets over like 3,000 or 4,000 RPM, it just screams. But you got to be careful. I mean, this is why I think that, you know, certain people that drive Rotaries are much better than others, is they know how to keep those RPMs high and maintain that drift, because if you fall out of drift and you fall out of that RPM range, you're going to be struggling to get the wheels to really light up again. I mean, it's really a fun car though. Nimble. Come on. Okay, 107 on the way up. Not bad, but not great. Okay, cool. I liked it. It's fast. It's just that you really got to focus on your RPM a lot, and when I'm playing around in these games, it's not what I want to be focused on, but cool car, cool car. We'll jump over to a new one and see what happens. Alrighty guys, we've jumped over to Dean Carnage Carney's V10 Viper. This thing is a mean freaking machine. If he didn't have so many overheating issues in Formula Drift, I think he'd perform very, very well. Seems like he's got it pretty well under control this year, but in the past couple of years, he's really been struggling with overheating. But he's a mean machine driver, and this thing is insane. I bet it's going to have a lot of torque. I'm looking forward to seeing what it can put down. Boy, the gears seem short. Really wide swing there. Lighten it up. Well, it's definitely fast, and it definitely has huge angle. I mean, holy crap, I lost it on that. Might have to give this a retry to give him a fair share. That was way too long of a handbrake, but this thing is fast as all hell. Holy crap. And that is by far our highest scoring drift car. 182,000 with going off track, so this thing's looking real prime for being the one to pick if you're going to pick one. I didn't really like how the engine sounds. Like, it's almost like the gears are so short, but it's got the torque for it. It can power through anything here. It's definitely fast. It's super, super fast. I wish they had the Oracle lighting on this door like he has in Formula Drift now. That'd be really cool in this game. You probably just couldn't manage graphics-wise to do something like that. Really big angle. This thing's hard to control, but holy crap. Once it's tuned in a little bit, I bet it's an absolute monster. And that's definitely our highest score we've put up going up the hill as well. So, Dean Carney, you got a beast of a car, dude. This thing is insane. Really, really well done. We've got just a couple cars left. We're going to do Von Gittin Jr.'s Mustang, as well as that BMW M2. I forget the name of the driver. He hasn't been in Formula Drift for very long. And then I I think that's about it. I'm gonna see what other cars I've got here in the pack. We could also do Barrione's Corvette, but I think that thing's pretty underpowered, but we'll see. So let's try Von getting Juniors. Oh, Rad Dan. We can't forget about Rad Dan. That's our next car right now. Let's do it. This thing is a rocket too. I have drifted with this already before. It's one of the ones that I thought is just, in my opinion, one of the best looking cars in Formula Drift. I know there's just so many cool cars, but, and you know, good old JZ power. Not the angle, you know, that we saw from Dean Carney's car, but this thing is holding a corner. Holy cow. Nice extended handbrake there. A little low on torque, but that's, you know, V6. Not V6, straight 6. Who am I? JZ V6. Yeah, right. Try second gear here. No problem. Cut that corner a little tight. .153 with a couple mistakes, obviously, but we'll run it back up the hill and see what it can do here. And then we'll get to our final two cars, and that'll wrap it up. We'll see what ends up having the highest score in the end, but I have a feeling it's going to be Dean Carney. That thing is incredible. I think we'll do a comparison too for the downhill versus uphill, because it seems like some of these cars do way better downhill, and then you turn around, it's just not doing it where you want. This thing seems to be doing really well uphill. Swinging it. The angle just isn't quite there for Rad Dan's car. Yeah, just under 150 on the uphill, so really cool. Unfortunately, RTR doesn't have their cars in the game. I say this is Von Gittin Jr.'s car, but I think it's actually Justin Pollock's old car, and I just got the Von Gittin Jr. livery for it. So that's something to keep in mind as well. I thought RTR had these cars in Forza Horizon 4, so I guess I'm a little confused why they're not again, but maybe they have something else in store. So beautiful car. Ooh, fourth gear. Not there. Well, I guess we'll stay in third and kind of limit it out. Not liking the gearing on this thing, man. I don't know. Just doesn't feel right. I mean, I know the RTR cars would feel a lot better, but we don't have those. So we'd have to kind of build our own RTR, more or less. Put that 7.0 V8 racing engine in it. I can't remember if they run a 7.0 in real Formula Drift or not, but they certainly run a naturally aspirated Ford crate motor with NOS on it. So, golly, this thing is terrible. Maybe it'll be better uphill if that third gear can hold out, but not helping that the road got a little moist here, I think, but riding that limiter because I know fourth gear isn't going to cut it, especially uphill, since it couldn't even do it downhill hardly. Man, sorry, but I would not suggest buying this Mustang. It's just not. Maybe with some tuning could be really good, don't get me wrong. Tuning can always make a big difference, and I will be doing some tunes on these things as well, but I wanted to get a baseline, and this will not be one of the first cars I'm focusing on, that's for sure. You especially think, even if technically the road is a tiny bit wet, you would think that would help give you some fourth gear, but oh man, nope, by far the worst one. Shoot, I really thought that was going to be good. Oh man. Okay, well, disappointed in that one, to be honest. I hadn't driven that car at all yet. I just bought it. Let's go for the M2, and then we'll finish it up with Barrione's Corvette. Do a little U-turn with this bad boy. Love the steering angle on these things. Feels good. I know they have LSs in them. And Matt Field manages them, and his car was a ripper too, so I could imagine that these things are running a similar, very similar engine setup. Oh boy, fifth gear was really bogging on me there. This thing's fun. I mean, it's consistent, it's smooth. Fifth gear got it a little bit, yeah. 153K, so not bad. Run it uphill. Get that torque rolling. Get that torque rolling. Struggled a tiny bit there. Man, I've been approaching this corner so terribly. Just not quite getting it right. I think it's because I'm used to driving the cars that I've tuned for drifting, and like my GR Supra tune that I posted last week, or actually it was 2 weeks ago now when this will be posted, so. Okay. Swinging it in. Feels pretty good uphill, honestly. Finish it out by hitting that guardrail a little bit, but 143K. Okay. Really cool. Just not impressed with it as much as I have been with some of the other cars. So we'll switch over to our last and final car, the Corvette of Barrione. All right, Drift HQ, Sheriff Barrione. I hope I'm not butchering that name. I don't think I am. Cool to see Drift HQ on here. They were one of the early, this was back before Drift HQ was really big or Adam LZ acquired them or anything like that. So we'll see how this thing does. Feels like it has a lot of power. Whoa, angle. Feels really planted, really secure. Kind of surprised because I think in Forza Horizon 4 it really didn't feel good to me. Fifth gear. Okay, kind of got there. Fourth gear holding on. Sounds really good. I like it. Oh, 166. I mean, that's one of our better scores for sure. We'll flip it, go uphill, and then do a final comparison and kind of chat through what we think the best one is. But Dean Carnage Carney's got the cake on the downhill score for sure. This thing feels really solid in fourth gear up this hill. Oh, might have shifted up a little too early to fourth gear on that. See if we can kind of connect this a little bit. Probably should have picked an easier drift zone to compare all these, but I thought it'd be fun to kind of be able to swing them around a bit, have the, elevation change, have a slight effect on, it's just another variable about how these things are performing and how they're handling and what works and what doesn't work. Ah, shoot. Keep taking out the end of that.
You have arrived at
All
your
right.
destination.
Not bad, guys. Not bad. So, we'll see. Let's go compare. We'll look at the chart, and then we'll see what the best car is. See who wins. All right, guys. So, that finishes up the video. We tested just about every car. I know there was a couple that I did not test, including, Andy Haley's BMW. But overall, we got a really good list together. I'm surprised. I wasn't expecting Dodge Kearney's Viper to be Dean Kearney's Dodge Viper to be the highest scoring car out of this. And I was very, very shocked by Barrione's Corvette bringing in that 166 towards the end. That thing felt really planted, and I'm just surprised because from watching him in the past, he just couldn't hold that car together. So obviously the game is a lot easier to drive. But Matt Field came in 3rd place with 156. Rad Dan in 4th. Reynolds in 5th. You know, Cerrifos had a great car. You can't go wrong with the Ferrari. And like I said, a lot of these are going to be so much better with a couple modifications and things done to them. So overall, I don't know if it's worth it to buy the pack when you can just buy cars for 300 grand a piece within the game. Unless that's not available for some reason, let me know. But I think that it would be more worth it to maybe buy the top 3 or 4 that you know you're going to really enjoy driving, the ones that you really like the most. And if it were me and I had to pick 4 of them, I'd buy Dodge. I keep saying Dodge. Dean Kearney's Dodge Viper. I would buy Matt Field's Corvette. And then it would be a toss-up between Rad Dan's Supra and I really liked the Turk Corolla. You know, I'd say Rad Dan Supra and Osmo Supra could probably be interchanged. But since you can build a regular A90 Supra and Osmo Supra with a wide body kit from factory out of the game already, and you can just kind of build it out to be similar to that, I think it might make more sense to have Rad Dan Supra because the A80 Supra that Rad Dan has the base on, you can't get his wide body kit on that factory Supra to kind of build it in the game. So that'd be the only reason. So I'd say Kearney, Viper, Fields Corvette, Rad Dan Supra, and Turks Corolla. So that's going to do it for today's video, guys. I know this was a long one, my longest video yet, so I appreciate you if you're still here. And don't forget to put your life in drive. We'll see you next time.